One of the biggest TikTokers just sold his company in a $975 million deal.
I love y'all. I really do. But you think they come to me with $1 billion? I'm saying no.
Where you at, Berto?
This TikToker's $975 million deal is very suspicious.
One of the biggest TikTokers just sold his company in a $975 million deal, which is insane, except the numbers don't make any sense.
The numbers, basically. What do they mean?
And now analysts and a lot of confused people online are asking, how does any of this math even work?
Khaby Lame, the world's biggest TikToker, has signed a $975 million deal to turn his 360 million followers into big money. The partnership gives financial firm Rich Sparkle exclusive global rights to Lame.
That's $1 billion, yo. Call it what you want. That's $1 billion. I'm gonna be honest, man. I love y'all. I really do. But you think they come to me with $1 billion? I'm saying no. This nigga sold his content for $1 billion. Be honest, chat. How many of y'all are saying no to that?
His brand for 36 months, turning him from an influencer into an equity-backed creator.
He scammed somebody? Who'd he scam?
According to a company statement.
Okay, so the payment wasn't cash, it was stock. Basically shares that only matter if you can actually sell them. And the company buying his online likeness essentially made about $6 million reportedly printing documents before all of this happened. But now, after all this, its valuation randomly exploded. So there's just a lot that just does not make any sense here. But as many people know, Khaby Lame is one of the most followed people on TikTok with over 160 million followers and billions of likes. He started posting during COVID after losing his factory job, blew up very fast, and within a few years, he was everywhere. Met Gala, Super Bowl ads, fashion campaigns, brand deals, the whole 9 yards. According to Forbes, Khaby made about $20 million from his career so far. But also, I know Forbes very often is not accurate whatsoever. So who knows what the real number could be? He could have made 10 million, he could have made 50 million, maybe even more. Hard to say. Because at the end of the day, Khaby is not, or well, he kind of is now, but he wasn't a public company, so he doesn't have to report his earnings quarterly. So it's hard to really say how much the dude was making. But his earnings would be coming from endorsements, partnerships, and appearances altogether. But either way, $20 million is just an absurd amount of money when you started reacting to other TikToks during the pandemic.
Bro, all this nigga does in his TikToks is go like this. Like literally, again, I'm not mad at him. Trust me, I'm not hating. If I can make millions of dollars just going like this too, come on, run me that bag. But it's just so crazy that he was able to run it up that much. Like, bro, $1 billion, gang? What the fuck? I never understood how people found him entertaining. It's like, bro, I'm not gonna say too much because it's not my story to tell, and I'm sure he's gonna wanna be the first one to tell it. But one of my close friends just told me that their grandma, IRL, real life, just got scammed out of $200 because she thought that she was sending money to Elon Musk. Meaning that she was holding communications with a fake AI of Elon Musk and was somehow coerced into sending this AI $200. All that to say, the boomers of the world and the young motherfuckers of the world, they are so out of touch with what's going on. It doesn't surprise me that they find this brother here entertaining. Honestly, it's crazy.
Remember this ballpark range of what he's made in his career because it becomes important to the story later on. But other than that, I mean, honestly, Khaby doesn't have too many controversies tied to him. Like there were some court filings from 2024 that showed that he had a paid endorsement deal with Skechers, and the agreement was that he was set to earn about $1 million over 2 years in exchange for a fixed amount of TikToks, Instagram Reels, and stories. And that is a massive contract, but a fairly normal sized deal.
Y'all wearing Skechers for $1 million? I don't know. I feel like I could do a lot of things and endorse a lot of brands, but I don't know if I want to be walking around wearing Skechers though. Nigga got a little too much swag for that. I don't know if I could dip as low as wearing Skechers.
For an influencer his size. But according to the filings, Skechers later initiated arbitration against Khaby. And real quick, arbitration just means private court. Basically, instead of a public lawsuit, the dispute gets handled behind closed doors. So Skechers allegedly claimed that Khaby refused to cooperate with parts of the deal and that he was photographed wearing Nike shoes. Whoopsie. But at the end of the day, it was just a contract dispute. But now this $975 million deal isn't just like a brand deal. No, this is a public company transaction with way higher stakes and way more rules and way less room for casual mistakes like that. Like the mistakes he seemed to make were, you know, with a shoe deal. And then you also had that whole thing where a lot of rumors were saying that he was arrested by ICE in Las Vegas, but that turned out to be fake. He was detained and allowed to leave the country. Essentially, he overstayed his visa and left the States last summer. But again, no arrest. So as of right now, he's had no legal trouble or real criminal issues. So when headlines said that he sold his company for $975 million, a lot of people had the same reaction. Wait, how did we get from like a $20 million estimate of career earnings to a $975 million valuation? And that's where things start getting weird. Not illegal, as we know of, just very confusing because it just does not make sense. So let's talk about the deal itself, because the headline makes it sound way simpler than it actually is. Because when you hear a $975 million deal, most people just picture a giant check or a wire transfer hitting his account, and suddenly he's basically a billionaire. Well,
No, he's a billionaire, bro. We're not shortcutting that shit, bro. You get 900 million anything, it's a billion, nigga. It's a billion. It's close enough.
this deal did not work like that. So according to the SEC filings, this was a all-stock deal. Basically, instead of paying cash, the company paid Khaby in shares of their own stock. So simplifying this, he didn't get money. He got pieces of paper that say, hey, this might be worth money if you can sell it. His payment is basically ownership of a merged company. If the company does well, the shares matter more. So who knows? There could be a chance that he's being taken advantage of in this situation. Hard to tell because we don't have a lot of details yet. But those shares came from a company called Rich Sparkle Holdings, which is publicly traded and based in Hong Kong. And as a part of the deal, they issued 75 million new shares to buy Khaby's company, Step Distinctive Limited. Because the stock price was very high at the time, these shares were valued at about $975 million on paper. And that, on paper, is very important here because the stock value isn't really real money. And
the IRS is coming for him. Bro, I don't give a fuck how much the IRS wants. Take it. Take it. I don't care. I'm not hiding from the IRS. If they gave me $1 billion today, I don't give a fuck if they're taking half, bro. I'd happily hand it over, bro. Happily. That's more than enough money for a lifetime. Come on, man. Y'all niggas greedy. Y'all calling me the greedy one. Take it. I don't give a fuck how much that nigga Uncle Sam want. Take it. I've got more than enough. I'm good. Yo, real quick, before we get back into the video, I know you guys usually skip these type of ads, but give me 1 second. My guys over at Free Cash are sponsoring this video, and if you like money, I think you'd like to stick around. Free Cash is an application where you can earn free money just for playing games. It is 100% free to sign up using the QR code on the screen or the link in my description. Only thing that you're gonna need is an email or a password. And the games on this platform are actually fun, and all you have to do is complete basic missions and very simple tasks to reach the requirements to actually get paid. And as soon as you do that, they credit your account right away with real money that you can use in the real world. I'm talking about gift cards, PayPal, however you need to get your funds, they got it. And something that I've been seeing a little bit y'all talking about is like,
oh, they're collecting my data.
Listen, they only track your progress so they know when to pay you. And let me break down exactly why they're paying you free cash in the first place. The games that are on these platforms are trying to get exposure. So the games pay free cash to pay you guys to play the games. If you really think about it, it's just business. It's a win-win situation. These games get more people onto their platform playing their games, and you get a little bit of extra chicken in your pockets. And I've had so many of you guys reach out to me already saying that you've made $5 to $10 just playing games that you would be playing for free anyway. And I know $5 to $10 isn't like life-changing money, but it's free money to play games on your phone. And the crazy part is I've actually had people tell me that they've had crazy payouts like $500, one even $1,000. I'm not saying to quit your day job, but the fact that that's even possible, I mean, bro, it's free. So if you ask me, there's really nothing to lose, just everything to gain, honestly, if you like playing games on your free time. So click the link in my description or try the QR code on my screen to sign up for free, and you'll even get a $5 bonus using my stuff. I love y'all. Where you at, family? Let's get right back into the video.
Where you at, Berto?
until you sell it. And whether you can sell it depends on, things of like how many shares are actively trading, how many people want to buy, and whether selling a big chunk would crash the price or not. And spoiler alert, if he tried to sell all the shares right now, he wouldn't even get a fraction out, and that would completely tank the company in the process, because it seems like there's like no liquidity here. That's why Forbes already said they won't count Khaby as a billionaire from this deal. The value exists as a number, not as spendable cash. Originally, Khaby's company that he sold, Step Distinctive, existed to manage Khaby's brand. This means handling brand deals, organizing sponsorships, licensing his image, and making sure companies pay him to post things. Basically, it was his business wrapper around him. Essentially, it was a brand management company built around one creator. And now, here's where everything shifts, because after the sale, Rich Sparkle says that Step Distinctive will become the center of a much bigger operation. Not just posting ads, but, becoming a full-scale e-commerce, live stream shopping, global brand partnerships, and even an AI digital twin of Khaby that can sell products 24/7.
Damn! Oh no, this nigga sold his soul. They just said they can make an AI model of this nigga to sell products, and he ain't got no say so. That's kind of crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Damn, this nigga found a money glitch. Yeah, I don't know that one right there. So they could just put my face and my likeness and my body into anything as long as it makes money. That's crazy.
And different languages. Okay. Basically, instead of Khaby being paid to promote brands, the plan is to have Khaby essentially be the platform. It's kind of like the difference between we manage sponsorships for the creator and we're building a global shopping network around one person. But it gets weirder because the company who bought Khaby's public image, Rich Sparkle, isn't a big tech giant or famous media company either. They're a small public company that only went public last summer. And at the time of their IPO, which is basically...
Imagine nigga just using an AI model of you for like a scam, like fucking, I don't know. Remember that one company that got exposed as like a big scam? What was it? The honey ad? The honey one? Where it's like legit stealing money from the creators and fans or some shit. Imagine you just got an AI model of you just running around promoting that shit. He ain't got no say so. And everybody just pointing at you, be like, oh, you're a scammer. And you're just like, bruh, I can't do nothing about that, bruh. I have no say so. I signed my shit off.
Particularly when they first sold stock to the public, they were valued at around $50 million. And their business is printing financial documents.
Mr. Beast was pushing the fuck out of it way back. A lot of people were. I'm not really mad at the creators that were pushing that, bro. Like, nobody knew it was a scam. Nobody knew it was a scam.
Okay, talk about a hard pivot. Like, I truly have no clue how a brand shift like that even happens. Like, what kind of company meeting is that? Hey guys, I know we've gotten really good at printing these documents, but I'm thinking we just start buying influencers and turning them into AI influencers. How dystopian is this? I would never take a deal like that, by the way. I don't care how much money I'm getting thrown at me. I've said no to massive multi-year gambling deals, and hell no, I'm not doing those things. And I would absolutely not license myself out to be a Tozy AI. If you ever see a Tozy AI somewhere and it's not some like parody that I'm doing on my own channel as a bit, that's not licensed by me. Please report that, because that's not me. And I wouldn't be doing a deal like that because I think, honestly, it's just kind of like a net negative to society. But according to their own filings, Rich Sparkle made less than $6 million in revenue in 2024. So when people saw that the same company was now buying an influencer brand in a deal worth $975 million, the obvious question is how and why that valuation? Because this just does not make sense. But it may have fooled retail investors. So who knows if that was by design or not, but after the Khaby deal was announced, Rich Sparkle's stock price shot up more than 650%. So, yeah, that did some numbers to the stock. And for a short time, it traded above $180 per share, which made the company look like it was suddenly worth over $16 billion. On paper, this is very important, on paper. Because, here's the important part. Only a very small number of those shares were actually trading. So it seems like there wasn't a lot of liquidity. So even small trades could move the price a whole bunch. And that's why some financial experts said the valuation didn't reflect the company's real size or revenue. It reflected hype and thin trading. So if you're getting whiplash from how all over the place these numbers are, yeah, you're not alone. Because that's why analysts started paying attention. Not to Khaby, but the structure of the deal and how fast the stock moved. One securities attorney described the situation as very suspect. And another analyst said it seems completely like a Chinese stock promotion. So honestly, I don't even know what that means, but that's kind of a funny quote. Then another expert said they'd only seen stock charts like this in pump and dump schemes. So who knows where this is going? And the reason being,
that would be unfortunate if this is like some type of crypto scam or some shit.
People are comparing those to a pump and dump is just because of how fast the price jumped and how few shares were trading and how the company's business suddenly changed direction. Another former SEC investigator pointed out the company announced the deal was closed, but at the time hadn't filed all the usual paperwork confirming that with regulators, which is also interesting, especially for a deal that size. Basically, this means the company said, this is done, while investors were still waiting for the official receipts. And then, of course, the stock went into free fall. So the stock crashed from about $180 all the way down to about $40 a share. So that swing alone would make any analyst nervous, especially when it's tied to one big announcement. But wait, there's more. Because there's actually a third company that just entered into the mix as well, called Three Sheep Group. Again, Rich Sparkle Holdings, that's the public company that bought Khaby's brand and paid for it with stock. They handle the filings, the shares, and the headline number that says, hey, we did a $975 million deal. But then you have Three Sheep Group over here. They didn't buy anything. Their job is to actually run the business, the live stream shopping and the AI version of Khaby's that's supposed to sell the products around the clock. On YouTube. So I guess this purchase by Sparkles of Khaby's image allows retail holders to now buy a portion of Khaby's image. Okay, it's getting interesting out here, guys. But retail can hold his image, and then this other company is gonna try to monetize that image as much as possible. Again, it's getting really interesting out here, guys. And this operating company is a little bit interesting here because they don't have the best reputation. According to reporting, Three Sheep is one of the biggest live stream commerce operators in China, led by an influencer known as Crazy Little Brother Yang. But they've proven they can move massive amounts of products during live streams, but they're also allegedly a controversial operator. So,
all right, I don't want to watch this anymore. It's getting kind of boring, but I think we get the point, man. He sold his money. He sold his likeness for a big bag. Hopefully it's not a scam. I don't necessarily think it seems like a scam though. He hasn't come out and looks like he's like pushing anybody into doing anything. It's really just more his content. So, hey, man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Like, at the end of the day, you work hard, you do your thing, you build it up to a certain level, you cash out big like that. It doesn't seem like it's harming anybody. That's big. That's big. I'm not so sure I could turn that down. You know what I'm saying? All I could do is fucking congratulate a nigga as far as I can see. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Where you at, family? I'll see you on the next one.
Where you at, Berto?